Hi there. How do you change your financial fortunes in just 6 months? Is what I want to discuss with you in this video. My name is Afagza Sifuna. I am a certified public accountant and a finance and investment professional. What I'm going to discuss with you are actually simple and actionable things which myself have done to be able to improve my financial fortunes. By no means am I claiming that these are going to assist you become a multimillionaire or even so a billionaire. But I'm sure you're going to get a few tips from these which are going to assist you ensure your finances are more solid. Having said that, let's delve right in it. At the end of the day, we all aim to make money, right? And the interesting twist is that people are actually making money out there. Most of the times, where we see a disjoint is when it comes to people saving and managing their money. Because a good chunk of people are actually making money, but only a few are managing their money optimally. And with that, the very first tip, which is key and is something you can do in the first month, is basically you facing your fears. Look at it this way. A good chunk of people out there prefer to bury their head in sand, okay? Instead of waking up to face their fears. Maybe the issue is that you are not having an eye on your expenses, okay? Maybe the issue is you are not analyzing how much you are earning. There might be a myriad of issues out there, but a starting point is you being deliberate on facing your fears. Whether you are overspending, face that. By you putting everything down in black and white, you're gonna know very well how much you are making, whether it is from your full-time hustle or even so side gigs. Also, you're gonna know how much you are spending for you to be able to understand if you are spending money on frivolous things. Maybe you are having those useless unnecessary subscriptions, okay? The recurring charges on your cards which you need to drop. Maybe you are going very hard on impromptu purchases which you need to stop. You name it. Starting point is documenting everything before you even start problem solving. Aim to do this in the first month. And then, in the second month, aim to start saving. I know there might be arguments out there, for example, I do not earn enough to save. Woe unto you, because the truth is that no one out here earns enough to save. People are taking deliberate steps for them to be able to save money. So, don't say, for example, you are not earning enough to save, and that's the reason why you are not saving. Guys, saving is a habit. Saving is not something that's bestowed to you based on your income. You could say, for example, you are earning 10,000 Kenya shillings and you choose to save 10% of what you're earning, okay? You might be earning 500,000 Kenya shillings and then you choose not to save. Saving is a habit which starts with baby steps. So, choose to save. It's as simple as that. And by the way, in the first month, once you start identifying those pockets from which you may be wasting money, etc., the second month, the game changer is now you saving. Any amounts of money, for example, which you are using for useless subscription, impromptu purchases, maybe you spending on fun activities without thinking, you could choose to save that money instead, and it will just be a starting point of you saving your money, okay? And then in the third month, look at tackling your debts heads on. What do I mean? We all have different categories of debts out there, assuming you've embraced debt or leverage. Some of these debts are bad, others are good. For example, mortgage is a good debt, okay? Because maybe you're gonna pay over the next 10, 20 years, and then it's gonna guarantee you home ownership. But the same breath, there are those debts which are bad debts. For example, you being in debt because maybe you misuse your credit card, okay? Maybe you being in debt because you like utilizing Shylock's money. Guys, those are bad debts. Prioritize paying off bad debts, more so those debts which have a higher percentage of interest, because a high interest percentage is gonna lock you for you to continue being poor, basically living paycheck to paycheck. Reason being, you're gonna be working to pay off your debts, more so if we're talking about those debts which have high interest rate. Talk about 8% going forth, 10% going forth. Those are debts which you need to prioritize paying off, because if you don't, it's gonna hold you back. And then in the fourth month, once you begin paying off your debts, at least you're having a form of regularizing how much you're earning, how much you're spending, etc. Also start investing. People out there hear the word investing and they think investing is something that is very far fetched. No, guys, just like saving, investing is also a habit. And don't wait to start investing when you make insane amounts of money. That is not how investing works. Investing is a habit which you also develop over time. And you do that by starting with small steps. You might have 10,000, you might have 20,000, you might have 1 million, whatever amount of money you can shove off whatever you're earning. Start investing. There is a myriad of investments out there, as small as, for example, you putting money down in the stock market, putting money down in FTEs. Okay, you choose it. And the key thing is starting investing as soon as today. Because once start investing is going to become a habit, and even it is through practice that you're going to be able to know the worthwhile investments over time. So look to start investing today. Don't wait, for example, for you to rectify your financial habits and then say you're going to start investing 6 years down the line. No. That's why I'm saying you should be ready to start investing even as early as month 4. Okay? And also, as you are investing, also think about emergency fund. Because in this adult life, things happen. Talk about, for example, having sick emergencies. Talk about, for example, having bereavement. There are just tons of things out there which happen that also call for you to have an emergency fund. So prioritize having an emergency fund too, as you are going hard on investing, right? And then in the 5th month, look to do what we call automation. Automation is basically you having those automated ways through which different financial setups which you've chosen are actually executed. It could be a simple thing as, for example, you having a standing order through which maybe money checks off your bank account to go to a given account which maybe you are utilizing for your investment, or even so utilizing for your saving, or utilizing for your emergency fund. Look at automating your money flows, and this is gonna save you lots of headache, because also science has proven out there those repetitive tasks over time can become mundane, and once they become boring to you, chances are you might stop executing some of those tasks. That's why if there is forms of automation out there, those which are most likely cost-free, look at jumping onto them, and then you can be able to ensure you continuously become disciplined. Okay? And then in the 6th month, assuming you have formed better financial habits when it comes to you mastering your income, you saving, you starting investing, etc. Also look at diversifying your income. And by the way, if it's feasible, even start diversifying your income in the earlier months. It doesn't have to wait to the 6th month. You can even begin in the 3rd month, you name it. But the key thing is that by month 6, start having alternative incomes. And you could tap into other income sources by maybe you starting a small business, right? Thinking about, for example, you utilizing your talent, you learning a new skill, name it. The goal is you having diverse income, and it's only through having diverse income that you can be able to rapidly increase your savings, rapidly increase your investments, and you're gonna work towards deeper and deeper financial freedom. Guys, what do you think about this video? Have you ever been in the depth of debt? Have you ever been in a situation whereby you have difficult planning your expenses? Share with us down below in the comment section. How did you come out of that particular situation? And also, if you find this video useful, also drop a comment down below. Cheers guys, and I look forward to share with you other amazing videos next time. Cheers guys.